Also developing tonight, the Biden administration continues to go soft on China, despite increasing evidence supporting the lab leak theory that we warned about the whole time of the coronavirus origins. When asked yesterday if the Biden administration would seek to punish China for their COVID cover-up, Biden's principal deputy press secretary replied, quote, "We're not going to go there just yet." But new House bills would launch a coronavirus origins probe and allow victims' families to sue Beijing, and that's not all. Because we're also learning that the U.S. reportedly has unexamined intelligence on where exactly the virus started. And get this, former Trump official, who was part of the former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's probe into the virus, he says the investigation found almost no evidence. That's a big zero supporting the natural origin theory. Take a look.
Well, we were finding that despite the claims of our scientific community, including the National Institutes of Health and Dr. Fauci's NIAID organization, that there was almost no evidence that supported a natural zoonotic, evolution. The data disproportionately stacked up as we investigated that it was coming out of a lab or some supernatural source.
But the Biden team didn't even want to entertain that theory, and reportedly actually shut the probe down in the spring. So I don't want to hear any more nonsense or talk from boneheaded libs about so-called conspiracy theories ever again from this point on. Thank you very much. The media, big tech, they've all been caught with their pants down again, censoring and trying to suppress information that goes against their political agenda. Joining me now for reaction, former acting director of National Intelligence, Ric Grenell, along with Republican Congressman Darell Issa. Guys, thank you so much. Congressman, I'll go to you first. I mean, this was obviously common sense that the lab leak theory should at least be analyzed. We had a coronavirus pandemic that originated in Wuhan. We had a coronavirus lab in Wuhan that had been cited for security problems in the past. I mean, and by the way, we found out we had intelligence that 3 workers in the lab got sick with a coronavirus type illness. I mean, was this not the most obvious thing to look at? And yet we were called lunatics and conspiracy theorists for daring to bring it up.
Well, you know, Dan, my late father always said, if someone looks guilty, it could be because they're guilty. When you have those kinds of indications, the important thing to do is to follow the facts. And as you said, the media has told us not to follow the facts. The Biden administration has denied them. But the pressure is growing for a real commission. You know, we had 3,000 plus people die on 9/11, and we kind of knew some of the facts, but we still had a commission that dealt deeply to make sure it didn't happen again. We now have 600,000 people dead, trillions of dollars of damage to our economy, countless greater amounts to the entire world. Of course, we have to look into it, and we have to look into all possibilities and probabilities.
You know, Rick, you've been an absolute warrior for the truth. I follow you, and I really enjoy your social media, reading it. You have no problem going back and forth on these media folks. And no, I mean it. And when are they going to get a story right? I mean, we had the collusion hoax, the whole pee-pee tape thing. I mean, are they ever going to get a story right? They spent 4 years wasting our time with Bob Mueller on that. We had this monstrous, disgusting, tragic global pandemic, wiped out economies and lives, and they blow that story too. Is anybody going to ever have faith in these guys again?
Well, I think outside of Washington, nobody has faith in them. They look at Washington and they say everything that goes on there, they just talk amongst themselves, and what newsrooms believe is not what the American people believe. Let me just defend the intelligence community here for a minute. From the very beginning, if you go back and you look at April 30th, 2020, the statement from the intelligence community, IC-wide agreement, was that COVID-19 started in China and that it was either the wet market or the lab, and that we would begin to look at information over time, and we would always bring forward information. The media and the Democrats are the ones who never understood what the intelligence community was saying. There is no evidence that is unexamined. The intelligence community every single day examines every piece that they have, and they bubble it up. If anyone is confused as to what the evidence is showing, it's Joe Biden and the media. The evidence has been there. I'd like to ask why Joe Biden is suddenly asking for a review, a 90-day review of the evidence. That we don't hold back evidence in the intelligence community. If he hasn't seen evidence, it's because he's not being briefed, and that's a real problem.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Congressman, from your side, on the House side, you know, these three workers, employees in this Wuhan coronavirus lab where they were studying these bat coronaviruses, they were sick with an illness. There were obviously blood samples taken. There had to be. How can we, as a government, our government, pressure them to release those blood tests? I mean, once we get the answer there, I mean, we should have a pretty definitive answer. If there was an early infection from that lab of these three lab employees, I think we could pretty much isolate the lab leak theory and say that's the likely one at this point.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the reason the Senate, and I give them credit, unanimously voted to declassify this information, to begin to get it out there, because it's the only way to get out of this spin. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but understand the President of the United States is the leader of the free world, but China is the leader of the unfree world. They are using vast amounts of money and influence, including with the media, to stifle the kind of information that Rick saw when he was the director, that in fact we need to have the American people understand to get to the truth. We're not going to get to the truth as long as China has influence over tech, media, and a great many politicians, perhaps including the president.
Yeah, sad but true. Rick, Congressman, thanks a lot. Enjoy your weekend ahead. Thank you guys both. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.